speaking of other things about library that I'm critical of, the new LBC logo.
Oh
What were
dear.
they thinking? Like, I really like the design of Odyssey. Odyssey looks absolutely amazing. That LBC logo, though, let's see if we can find it. Um,
It's a fun logo. You know, it's something like it looks quite artistic, but it has no representation to library credits at all.
mhm.
It's
No, I'm
got a
just
big
finding
Z
the
in
old
it.
library credits logo.
It's got
Um,
a Z or an S in it. You know,
mhm.
lightning strike right down the middle.
It's gonna be on the. They really need to update their brand package because it's a pain to find the brand content for this platform as well.
Mm. Yeah, I'm not going to strike
What's going
that
on,
design
everyone?
off
I'm
fully.
Jeremy.
It's a nice look. It's just not appropriate for the library coin. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. There we go.
It would be great for something else. I just don't think it should be for the library credits.
Here we
It
go.
doesn't make any sense.
There we go. So something that was pointed out to me when I had Alloys on the show is that it's not symmetrical either.
Yeah, that's really important. You've got to make when you're advertising your product, it's always going to be in social media, and
Mm,
social media, the area you have to display your logo is often
mm-hmm,
circular. So you've always got to make sure that your logo fits in a circular boundary.
mm-hmm.
Not, I can't remember what this logo looks like in its dimensions. Let me just load up Odyssey now. Odyssey,
Like
does
it,
it fit in?
there's nothing about this that even really says library. Like these two like things on the sides, they're like bees. Like the orange thing and the blue thing, they're bees or something. I don't.
B's with a Z in the middle or an S in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, it's saying my site, saying the site can't be reached. Have I spelled that wrong?
'Cause I know there were
Yeah.
some designs that I think was it you that posted them on the Library Nomics Discord, or was it Brendan? One of you guys posted some designs that you guys had in the past,
Mm,
and those at least had some of the library character there.
yeah. Yeah, that was my design.
Okay, yeah.
Basically, what I did is I was thinking about what is library or library credits. It's based on the blockchain. So I started off with a block, then I
Mm-hmm.
cut a three-dimensional block, and then I cut the block into segments which made three L's.
Mm-hmm.
So it made this kind of like nice triangle of three L's in a block shape. So the L's were library,
Mm-hmm.
library credits, and liberty.
Mm-hmm.
And now we can extend that and we can have library credits, library TV, library app, Liberty. All the L's were there. So it had multiple reasons. It was blockchain and it was what the L's stand for. So it had
Mm-hmm.
meaning behind it. It's important to have meaning behind your logo. And it's a good talking point as well. Good for marketing.
Yeah.
Um, and I put it on a circular background, 2D background, which was to represent a coin.
Mm-hmm.
And that was only my initial design. I could have improved on it more. I think it could have been a bit thicker, and I think the background could have been a better color and this kind of stuff. But that was just the original design. But yeah, I like that design. I preferred it than, excuse me, I preferred it than the. I liked the B design that they did, the LBC. I
Mm-hmm.
did like, but it wasn't appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
You know the one that won the competition.
No, I don't.
It was the green bee. I can see if
I
I
th-
can get my
I
browser to
think
bring that up.
I'm recalling something. Um, if I'm thinking of the right one, it basically didn't make sense as a logo or as a logo for like a project like this.
Well, it kind of had meaning behind it, but I'll go for. I'm just gonna send you the image now. I'm just waiting
But
for it to load up.
with the
It's
current,
got.
sorry,
1 second.
uh,
Multitask. I lock up when I multitask.
yeah, okay. While you're doing that, I was gonna say, with the current,
It's
like, okay, cool. With the current LBC logo, it's sort of like if you just imagine like a something like Twitch, just as a gaming streaming platform, and they have like some sort of currency in that platform that you can donate to streamers. That's sort
mm,
of what I think of when I look at this logo.
mm. The new one.
Yeah, the new one. Ah,
Yeah, it
yes,
doesn't look
this
very,
one.
yeah, it doesn't look very serious. And this one, so when Duzan first published it, he published it, in the Illustrator view with all the lines of you get an Illustrator, you design view basically. So it made it look fancy like that, and I think that's what swung it to win the competition. But there's no real thought about where it's going to be
Mm-hmm.
put into this design. So here are the problems with this design. It's not going to fit in your box or your circular social media or any type of area it needs to be, especially when it's a small kind of icon size. It's difficult to see. Secondly, it looks like a bee. So when people see this, they see a bee. Yeah, it's got a kind of abstract view of an LBC in there, but unless you know it's there, you're not going to see it. Can you see it?
I can. I guess
So the L
is that supposed
is
to be the
the
line
left.
on the left?
Yeah, the B is the whole thing,
Sure.
and the C is the
The cutout.
cutout in
Yeah.
the middle. So unless you know it's there, you're not going to know it's there. People looking at that are just going to think it's a B, and they're going to think, "Hang on, why is this LBC?
Mm-hmm.
It looks more like Bitcoin or something like that." So there's those two problems. It's a nice design. I like the design of it. I like the cleverness of it, but it wasn't practical for what it was to serve.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same for the current one as well.
Well, the current one at least makes sense in the circular format. At least you can use it for that task. It just doesn't
Yeah.
have anything that says LBC about it.
Yeah, so I'm just loading that up now. Yeah, so yeah, it does fit in, but like you say, it looks like, I don't know, an art app icon or something. You downloaded off the Apple Store, some sort of app for making some sort of collage or something like that. It doesn't look like LBC.
Mm-hmm.
I can see maybe the thinking they were going for here. It's a bit Odyssey looking, with this crazy graphic design mentality, more playful, and there are some kind of crazy crypto logos looking a little bit like this, but it just doesn't quite cut it.
Mm-hmm.
But do I prefer it over the library logo? Probably.
Oh, the old logo was terrible for marketing. It did.
Yeah.
Have you tried putting it on a black background?
Yeah,
You can't see it at
I
all.
know, unless you change the color.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a rectagonal shape, so it's really hard to fit it in those boxes. Then
And
it
the
just
lines
looks,
are very thin.
yeah, it definitely needed to be thicker. I did have a play around with it a couple of years ago to try and make it look good in a box area, but then it didn't look quite right. The kind of like the 3D look of it was out of proportion, so it was really difficult to get looking right. Yeah. But I don't want to be too critical because you've got to think Library isn't a design company. They make, they're computer programmers who make programs. So I think they did well
Mm-hmm.
without having those skills. I think they did better than some companies might have done. And it's good to see now that they've got the graphic designers in.
Yeah,
Although I'm not a fan of
that's very evident from what they've done with Odyssey recently.
and it's a criticism I had from day one. I said, you got to don't developers shouldn't be trying to design. Let developers develop. Get designers into design. I've been saying it since day one, but I think Julian was the one that pushed that idea. Get the designers into the designing, not the developers.
Yeah.
And I think the library can be quite stubborn with the way they think. No, we'll do it. But it's good to see finally it's getting more like it should be in terms of graphic appearance.